Bro, this fucking loser in my comment section was like, oh, I got an orange tick, bro, huh? Your pink tick is nothing. I got an orange tick, bitch. You see that there's nothing. Get on my fucking level. The Comet is Coming are a British new jazz band. They just dropped an album with a really fake deep title. Bro, what is the deep mystery? What mystery? It has a life force? Why should I trust in it? What's gonna happen if I don't trust it? I don't know. I think this is an incredibly catchy and fierce approach to new jazz. I think it's really cinematic and large in scale. The riffs and solos are so damn fearsome and full of character on songs like Blood of the Past and Super Zodiac. I think they really carefully and tastefully incorporate synths too, like really sci-fi-esque synth work on songs like Birth of Creation. The drums all over this thing are crisp as hell. They're mixed in wonderfully. There's so much of a potent atmosphere and potent tone to these tracks that each one has sort of an individual personality going on. And despite the fact that I think the opening track does a pretty weak job of sort of bringing you and immersing you into the experience, I think it just kind of fails to build much momentum. I think it's just a bit too caught up in just like being all cinematic and shit that it kind of forgets to actually be entertaining. But despite that, I think the song Birth of Creation, track 2, is bloody good. This track has some really creepy, squealy sax parts going on. It makes the song kind of feel like it's just possessed by some fucking new jazz ghost. And this track is positioned pretty effectively right next to the song Summon the Fire, which I think has some really lovely, bright, opulent synth pads going on, which gives it kind of a nostalgic and warm feel, but the distortion on the sax and the bass sort of maintains the frantic and free-flowing energy that the album had kind of built up until that point regardless, so it doesn't feel out of place or anything. The big centerpiece of this album, though, has got to be the track Blood of the Past, which, shit, man, the intro to Blood... Bro, the very beginning of Blood of the Past, bro. That reminds me of Gossip by Tame Impala. The interlude on Currents. I swear to God, they sound so similar. There's this little like chirpy vocal sample that repeats throughout Blood of the Past, which reminds me of like a warning siren or something, and it makes the song feel very kind of like urgent and frantic, which I think is pretty cool. And fam, the sax riffs on this track. God! There's also a pretty nice little bit of spoken word poetry from Kate Tempest, a UK female rapper that I really should listen to. The song Super Zodiac features some fucking wild drumming. I love that build on the track Astral Flying. There's these synths on this track that just kind of cycle and loop in this really transcendent way that I just think feels so natural. When these like bassy horns kind of join the mix halfway through, it all just kind of completes. It's just such a comfortable package. Timewave Zero, oh my god. Bro, this track, the synths are mad crisp, bro. Holy shit. They make me feel like I'm like slowly phasing in and out of like the Blade Runner universe or some shit. That's so cool. The drums are really slick and clean too. The song has like, this is really like consistent momentum to Timewave Zero as it plays along. It's really steady and it never loses my grasp. It's such an effective track. Probably my personal favorite on the album. I will say though, the final track is a little bit of underwhelming closer. It just kind of runs out of ideas. It just kind of runs out of gas about 2 minutes in, and from that point onwards, it just kind of keeps building to nothing really. Like, it doesn't sound bad musically, but I don't know, they're just not as dynamic or as exciting as the other cuts. But still, this album is a lot of fun. I think it's fucking awesome. I would definitely recommend it. It's a big favorite of mine this year, and I'm gonna give it a nice whopping 8 out of 10, bro. This album's dope as fuck. I've had a blast every time I've heard it, and I'm gonna keep listening to it all throughout the year. If you're a jazz fan, if you're a new jazz fan, this thing is really large and cinematic and exciting. God, man, I would definitely recommend it. I think it's hella dang. I hope you do too. Let me know what you think in the comments. And yeah, that's the end of the review. Shout out to The Comet is Coming. Really love the new album. I think it's pretty fucking dope. And yeah, that's everything I gotta say. Hope you enjoyed the video. I'll see you on the next one. Bye!